The imagination is a very powerful thing. It's a very powerful thing. All men behave because the way they do because of what's going on in their mind. Okay, so your thoughts lead to your actions lead to habits, your habits are what you are, who you are. You know, Aristotle said you are what you repeatedly do. But he replaced he went back, you know, why did you act this way? Because you felt this way. Why did you feel this way? Because you thought this. Why did you think this? Because this is how your thought process worked. See, he was very interested in thought processes. You know, how do you think? How do you come to your conclusions? And I was telling George, you know, don't go into your own movie. What does that mean? It's like, let's say I'm fighting you, for instance, okay? And I see your highlight videos, and I see you choking people, and I see you punching people, and I start thinking of all these things you might do to me, and I start creating this movie in my mind, you know? And it's like for me, I had a fear of flying once upon a time. And I would be in the plane, and I would hear a noise, and I'd be like, my mind would tell me, oh, the wing is breaking off, and the engine just, I was like, dude, you're creating that in your mind. Look around, everything is normal. The stewardess is serving orange juice, the guy next to you is just reading a paper, everything's normal. What you just thought of there, it's not here. You know, you made your own movie. So it's basically, don't let your imagination run wild. It's just a fancy way of saying, don't let your imagination run wild. And look at what's really going on. Go back to being objective. Oh, I'm just sparring today, that's all I gotta do. Okay, today I'm just wrestling. Okay, I'm just practicing these chokeholds. I'm not in this horrible situation where there's no solution. So this keeps you focused on the process. Instead of George, because George was very, you know, he had a lot of anxiety. That's one thing, you know, before his fights, he had a lot of anxiety. And I would try to calm him down by telling him, look, that stuff's not going on. It's not true. That you made it up. It's all fictitious. What's really happening is we're getting ready for the fight. We don't know what's going to happen in the fight. And during the fight, what's happening at that moment is what's happening. Don't think too far ahead and in negative and spin things in a negative way. And the other thing is when you have people telling you how great you are, you start imagining yourself as this unbeatable, you know, you don't want to go there either. Because what happens is you have flaws. You have weaknesses. And you think you don't because in your movie, and everybody's telling you, they're talking to you like you're unbeatable. You're deluding yourself. So instead of going in there, because a guy who thinks he's unbeatable doesn't need to train. Think about it. If a guy's training really, really hard, it's because he's not sure he's got all the skills he needs to shine on that night. If you told me for a fact I'm going to win, if you told me, hey, you're going to win round 1 in 10 seconds, it's a fact. It's as true as a scientific fact. I wouldn't train. Why would I train? I would just train to have abs. You know, I would just, you know, I would do vanity training so I could look good. I wouldn't go and wrestle. That's hard, you know. I'm trying to get good here. So the truth of the matter is, deep down inside, we all know we want to cultivate as much skill as possible. We're not unbeatable. But guys who believe they're unbeatable don't train with the same fervor. They don't train with the same discipline. That's why I would try to keep them on the right track. You know? Don't believe your own hype. You gotta have that belief. But you got to believe in your work. You got to believe in your training. You got to believe that your preparation is so good that you're going to beat the guy. Not that you're just, it's your right to beat the guy. It's not your right to beat the guy. It's your reward for the training you've done. So I really believe in our training. I always tell guys, I believe in our training. I believe in our preparation. You're just a regular Joe. You're just a guy. It's not you that's good. It's the jiu-jitsu that's good. It's the wrestling that's good. It's the Muay Thai that's good. You master that, it'll work for you. You know, if you take a Gracie and don't teach him jiu-jitsu, his jiu-jitsu is no good. He's just a regular guy. It's the jiu-jitsu that made them great. Their understanding of it, their practices. They had to go through the fire. Being born a Gracie was not enough. They had to put the work on the mat, you know. Jiu-jitsu is not for free. It's not a genetic thing. They had to put the hours and the blood, sweat, and tears to become great. And that's what I believe in, you know. I believe in the work. And sometimes fighters start looking in the mirror and they believe in themselves. That's the problem.